once I got into the corporate spaces, especially in the C-suite.
Here's where our conundrum comes in, and no one really wants to face this. We're dealing with 3 generations at once that are dealing with 3 different versions of how life was and who we're interacting with. So we've got the generation that's 55 to 80. They grew up in a time when segregation was just over, or through segregation. The people they're interacting with were born in that same time of it. Segregation was just getting over, or segregation happened, and they're dealing with the ramifications of that type of a life. Then you got the people like me. I'm 47. I was born literally less than a decade after they said I could be born, because I'm mixed black-white and my parents are black and white. So that was legally not allowed. But wow, I'm here. And I had to deal with that type of growing up and the racism and the bigotry that came from that. But it was less. That sounds like a repeat. I don't know if it got it or not earlier. So that's one of the things I'm dealing with right now. And then my children. And this was a game changer that grew up with these smartphones. So all of my children from the ages of 20 to 27 grew up with these smartphones and grew up with more data, more information, and weren't as influenced by my stupid ass biases, or yours, or another white person's bias, or whatever that was, which really eliminated a lot of the racism issues. So if you look at this generation right now that is basically 18 to 35, they don't give a shit about racism. They don't care about any of that stuff. And they are really the new leaders in the industry. And a lot of the older people are dying out or literally just not in power anymore. And then you got my generation that's in power, that are the new C-suites, that are the new SVPs, that we're like, honestly, at this point here, it's nowhere near as bad as it was when my parents grew up, or even when I grew up. See, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I saw segregation. I saw that shit that was still the remnants of it. So, yeah, I saw that. But now, no, it's nowhere near that. We have access to everything. When someone says we don't have access to education, I'm like, look at your smartphone. You can get anything you want. Harvard gives you free education on there. University of Washington does. Every state's university gives you free education on their on your phone. There's certifications that you can go anywhere you want. There isn't a math equation you can't find out on the phone. There isn't an AI that's not available to you on the phone, or an AI that can get you the answers for free on your phone. So no, it doesn't bite like it used to. The stuff that you're talking about now is not the same. Now, that's not to demean what you went through for those decades of life, but life does change, and I'm blessed to it, and I'm blessed that I walked away from the stupidity so my children could.